This year at the very beginning of Sleep Summit, I walked in with two show ponies, but in the audience were two thoroughbred bedhead racehorses who experienced Sleep Summit through a very different lens than myself. Their top takeaways, their new friends, their insights, their ideas, and funny stories. The founders of Bedhead are here, and the Fan Podcast starts right now.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep, crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel. It's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com. Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/fam. Podium, because speed wins sales.
Welcome to the FAM Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Welcome to the Fan Podcast. We're doing it, guys. We're here.
Thanks for having us.
Brandon Bain, Stephen Ferguson, the founders of Bedhead, legends in the industry, and my friends and attendees 3 for 3 at Sleep Summit 2025. Okay, let's start there. You guys have been to all 3 Sleep Summits. What have you noticed this year compared to the past 2 years? Ferg, you want to go first?
You know, Mark, I think every year, honestly, like I'm going to give you some credit here. You started it so well the first year. Was so proud of you. Was proud to be a part of it and speak at it. But to know that you set the bar so high, I know as a business owner and doing things like that, it's not just like, how do you grow up, but how do you even sustain it? Like, how do you consistently repeat something over and over again? It's hard, you know, and you've done it, man. I think the event is evolved. I love your location that you're using now. We used to make fun of you for going to Bentonville, dude. It's like, no, dude, Bentonville is home away from home for Bedhead, next to Vegas. So it's like we show up in Bentonville, like we can't wait. Like I love the town, the city. It's no longer like, am I just going there for Sleep Summit, an event to sit in a chair? It's like I'm going there for so many other reasons, in the city, in the town, with doing things with people from our industry. Yeah, dude, it's definitely evolved, and again, just sustaining consistent quality is what I'm most proud of for you.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, and I'm sure that even this year when you popped into Bentonville, you're like, oh my gosh, there's construction everywhere. We have the new promenade.
Yeah.
There's like
All
3
because of Sleep
hotels.
Summit. Right? Like you're growing, like the city's growing because of you, dude.
Shout out to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. They always support us. Thank you so much. Brandon Bain, what about you? What are some of the things you noticed over the past 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this was the least stressful one because usually we're prepping for being on stage, and we got to be audience members at times, which I loved. You had a great lineup of speakers this year, and I was taking copious notes, but I found out this morning that I didn't have to. It's all in your AI brain. I can just look up the notes. So if I'd have known that, I would have been less less note taking. But frankly, I love that there's content specific speeches where you'll bring people from outside the industry, and other events try to bring people from outside the industry and tie it in. The people that you bring from outside the industry are literally talking about the industry. It's different than just bringing an expert in. When I'm there, I'm all ears, all attention, because there's a lot to walk away from. But to Ferg's point, you go to these things because of who you get to rub shoulders with, and you're bringing the best of the best in the category, and which is always great.
Yeah, we had record attendance this year. We had more than 20 retailers represented, everybody from big to small. And that to me was a good sign, and tons of repeats. People are coming back, and to your point about the content, I've always sort of Sleep Summit has always been like scratching my own itch in a way. I'm like, what would I want to hear about? And so this year, with all the talk about tariffs and the economy and where the wind is going to blow next, I brought in Dr. Chris Keel, and he's actually always on the radio up in Kansas City. He's actually a funny economist. And
Incredible.
so what you enjoyed it. Okay. Do you have any takeaways like beyond like the K-shaped recovery, which we can get into?
Mark, I'm going to tell you straight up, like I'm really picky on speakers and very judgmental. The guy was by far the best speaker I've seen in our industry. I was blown away by this guy. I was like, seeing him come on stage, I'm like, what's going on here? What are we kicking off here? Like I was judging you from the moment economists. Like how old is this guy? That old dude, I wanted to party with him. I was like, where is he? I want to go out drinking with that guy tonight. He was so cool in his knowledge, man. I'm just saying, like his knowledge for the industry was spot on. He was able to tie it back to our industry, and going to other industry events where we get outside the industry people, they just, I almost said a bad word. They're terrible at tying it back to our industry. And as Brandon said, that guy nailed our industry so well, understanding it, even advising us on how to talk to customers and segmentation. He got our industry, and the knowledge he gave was fantastic. I think Brandon and I were texting back and forth throughout that process, joking about that's usable. I was like, take pictures of every single slide. Everything up there that he said was so usable for us as a marketing company and a consulting company. We do so much consultation at Bedhead. And it's like all of this stuff is data that is live and accurate. He should kick off every single Sleep Summit with accurate economic knowledge year after year. My advice to you.
Yeah, and I can see why it could be really judgy from the beginning because he's a seasoned vet in the economic space. He had back surgery, so he had to sit the whole time. But once he started talking of his background of like how he had a degree and he lived in Leningrad and he was gonna like basically spy on the spies, and
his Russian jokes were killer, dude.
The Russian jokes were great. He didn't mention this, but he also was gonna study wolves at one point until he realized that he had to follow around, just like look at their shit basically. And he told me that on one of our calls, and because he had a bunch of wolves in the background. But one of the things that I noticed going into Summit was like, what is media hype versus what's actually happening in the economy? And right now, like the S&P is at an all-time high. A lot of that's being driven by AI. Let's get into like what one piece of the puzzle, which I'd love to get your guys' perspective on. He called it the K-shaped recovery. So imagine like the K going up and the other leg of the K going down, and then there's kind of a line in the middle. What he meant by that was the lower end is people that don't have a lot of money are continuing to face a lot of pressure economically. The people in the middle are kind of maintaining, but they're being very specific and conscientious about their spend. But then he said the people at the upper end are spending like drunken sailors, or they're spending like they always have. And even Scott Vaughn later on in the conference mentioned, don't tell anybody, but the rich people have all the money. In terms of how that relates to the betting business, what do you guys see? What should we do with that information about who's spending the money and where they're spending it?
To me, this was the point where I thought there was some aha moments in this kind of segment. And it relates to more than what he talked about. It's me kind of connecting the dots between what Steven's always talked about for years, which is we're capitulating a lot of our high velocity value center traffic to Amazon, Wayfair, Walmart. And Dr. Keel said, you cannot get your customer back. Those people aren't spending money now, but you can't get them back. So we're training them to sort of, go, to third-party marketplaces to shop, and kind of neglecting the lifetime value of that customer that's buying the child's bed, their guest bed. And eventually if they have a good enough experience, they might just end up buying that bed on Amazon. And that's a problem for us. We need to make sure that we're serving the high velocity, the low income. We do understand that in high inflationary periods that lower income gets hit hardest the first. But to Dr. Keel, it's Keel, right? Am I saying it right, Dr. Keel?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So to his point, he sort of made mention that, the upper end hasn't sort of blinked at any of the current economic conditions, they've continued to purchase. My concern that we have is, have we already trained those people to not come to us? So that's kind of the dots I was inferring from that. He didn't imply that, but I was inferring from that. But frankly, the outlook, the economic outlook that he was showing with the K model, I think it was $100,000 was the middle of the line, but like 50% of them are like not confident that they would have a job or something like that. They're not confident in their job status, so they're unlikely to be high spenders. So really, it's that upper middle class that you got to look at to serve. But we got to serve them all beds, not just their master bedroom bed. So that was my takeaway.
I'm not. I don't know if we're answering what you want to hear. You may be shocked with what we're saying, Mark, but the takeaways that I saw in that, when he made this statement, a clear statement of when you give up your customer, you never get them back. He made that statement, and I don't even think he was speaking to retail. I think he was speaking directly on wholesale side of losing contracts, and you lose it, you don't get it back. But we believe that to be the same at retail. And I know everybody is on a high horse of big ticket. And I've been saying it the entire time. Mark my words, Chris Tahini and I've been joking about it. You've been saying it the whole time, Ferg. We are going to have issues over the next year and a half as we get back out of the COVID crisis. COVID was a 7-year recovery. 27 will be the year of recovery. 26 is going to be still a balancing act, a little bit of upward momentum. 27 will come back to standard operating procedures. And if you have trained your entire team to only go for big tickets, when the floodgates open, you will not survive. And I believe that the fighting for the cherry picking of our customers is no different than the jokes we see. I'm going to use this analogy. I hope it's okay, Mark. But every time you see one of those TikToks about, honey, what type guy are you looking for? He's got to be over 6 foot, needs to be in finance, needs to make over 150 grand a year, right? He's got to be of this persuasion, and everything they list out, and they go, okay, do the calculations. That's less than 0.5% of guys in the US. Like, if that's what we're saying, our perfect customers walking through our door, every retailer is fighting for the same customer, no different than every girl is fighting for the same guy. It's the same analogy. And we have to look at that properly, because we have told our customers to go to Amazon. Christy, he and I were joking about this on Facebook in a group 2 days ago, and both of us said the same thing. We've heard salespeople say, oh, you want that? You can just buy it on Amazon. So Megan and I were talking about this from scale in our business. Imagine going into Ace Hardware today as a customer. You're like, I need to fix my toilet, the thing jiggling and then the water's running. You're going into Ace Hardware. You're like, hey, Ace Hardware, I need to fix this thing. And they go, oh, you could just buy that on Amazon. And then you go, Amazon? Really? They have plumbing supplies? I didn't know that. Thanks, Ace Hardware. I will never come in here again. So when we tell customers in our store, you're looking for that part for your furniture, you're looking for that kind of mattress, you're looking for that topper, you know you can just buy that on Amazon. Oh, thanks, Mattress Soup. I'm going to just buy all my mattresses on Amazon. I will never come in here again. And he made that statement, and we both looked at each other like, that right there is speaking volumes. I will never come back to you, because we're training our salespeople to do that right now. I literally saw it in Facebook post. Don't waste your money or your time with that customer. Just send them to Amazon. Make your money on the big ones. I'm sorry, but all those customers spend over $10,000 on their mattresses in their lifetime on average. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing as an industry? And we've lived off the big tickets, and we needed to survive off the big tickets. And Jason did a really good job teaching that with the 4 tires approach in the Chronosleep presentation, because we needed big tickets to survive. But that is not the strategy for ongoing. We have ebbs and flows in the economy, and ebbs and flows with their traffic patterns and who can afford what. But a mattress is a need, and it'll always be a need purchase. When somebody needs a bed, are you on their list as an option, no matter what they're willing to spend? If we're going to send them away, that is not the future for your company. It's just not. And he made that very clear, in my opinion.
Gosh, this is a conundrum. It really is, because, you know, when I hear you say that, Ferg, I think to myself, if I operate more at the affordable luxury or luxury level, you're better off to have a relationship with somebody down the road that services more, you know, entry level products, as opposed to sending them online and not, quote unquote, messing with them. Or, you know, have some product in the back that's built for this. So, you know, I think you guys, I've heard you talk about this before. I'm really interested in your philosophy here, because on one hand, people would say, well, I'm operating on razor thin margins. That business has dried up. Amazon is even encroaching on the, you know, let's call it $1,000 to $1,500 price range, which they have gone up market. Do we just
They're
throw our
going
hands up and
directly
give up and
to
not
it.
compete? How do you compete? Because it's just a commodity at that point.
It's still a ticket, a $400 ticket. I'll take a 55 margin on that all day. I may not be getting 63 to 70 that you may be getting on some of your high-end luxury exclusive beds. But what's wrong with ringing up that customer and taking care of them? What
Hold on a second.
are
Hold
your
on.
salespeople
Pause.
doing?
Brandon, are you having a hard time hearing Ferg?
It's cutting out.
It's like cutting in and out. We're missing all the good stuff. Oh, now I can't hear anything. This is gonna be a banger of a show. All right. Okay. So as soon as we get the microphone fixed, Brandon, you could kind of speak to the same point. Your philosophy on actually competing at the low end, because if somebody's just operating on price, do you still try to build value in what you offer as a retailer and salvage that sale?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a merchandising question. It's also a understanding a total lifetime value of your customer question. You know, we got to start. I mean, I think it was over 45% when we were at Mattress Firm. 45% or so of the total volume of units was what, sub $500 or something. It was an insane number. That's imagine someone said, "Hey, we're going to cut your salary 45%." But it doesn't matter whether it's all the low stuff in the total units. It matters that you lost 45% of your business. That's a problem. So the way that I look at it as a marketer is, if you're not serving this customer at the low end and you're training to go somewhere else, you've done two things. One is you taught them not to buy your next bed here. But if you're also not continuing to keep them in your funnel, if you're not continuing to retarget them and continue to build your brand with them, then you've also missed the boat. Because I can't tell you how many times I've had people writing checks. Back when people used to write checks, where am I at? Mattress Farm? Where am I? I have no idea where I am. They don't know the name of the company. You got to stay in front of them. So getting them into your funnel, getting that committed purchase makes them sort of, you know, people vote with their checkbooks. They're voting for you, and it's your deal to lose in the future, but you have to continue to retarget those people. So you have to do two things. One, you have to serve them, and two is you have to continue to stay in front of them.
All right, Ferg,
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're sounding good.
So listen, dude, I'm going to make this real simple. Average store has 5 ups a day, sells 3 beds a day. What are you doing for the other hours? Just going to tell the two of them I don't want to sell you? Like, what do you have to do? It's money. It's free money. Do you want to ring up the $500 ticket at a 50 margin? It may not be your 63 to 72 margin that you get on some luxury thing that you've negotiated on a $4,000 ticket, but I'll help those customers all day. And it should be, those low end tickets should be half of your tickets that you write. I mean, it's half of your customers you're giving up. At the end of the day, 70% of people still spend less than $700 on a mattress. And we're just sending all of that business to Amazon. Why not go tell your customers, we beat Amazon every day. You don't have to wait a week for it. It's not going to be compressed and rolled and turned into mush, right? It's made in America. It's right here in your backyard, and we want to help you. And we're more convenient than Amazon because we're in your parking lot around the corner from your home, because convenience is everything with that. There's nothing wrong with that approach, and there's no money to be lost here. It's money to be made. I'm sorry you had to get out of your chair and help a customer for 45 minutes to pick out a bed from your value line. I mean, what else were you doing? Playing cards?
Tell us how
Am
you
I being too
feel,
correct? I don't know. I'm just like, I get passionate about this. To me, it's like, come on, this is sales management 101.
Well, and I think that comes down to the mentality of the salesperson as well. Make every person feel like $1 million. And you know, if it's going to be half of all units that you sell, it's half of the customers you sell that are below, what'd you say, $700? Guess what? Just be like, hey, since you're doing this, you know, this could be a great mattress for you. We're going to get you set up, but take like 1 minute and just try adjustable bases. You rarely get a chance to try what's new and different. Just give it a go. We always like to make people smile with this. And so it gives you a chance to just introduce something and plant some seeds. If nothing else, I mean, you're thinking about it like you're talking about with the long game.
It's so smart. And I'll give everybody a free Prime training experience. This is for your guest room. It's for your kid. You ask the customer at the desk. Don't do it early on. Do it very strategically. I'm ringing this up for you. It's $400 bed, whatever it is. And you go, when was the last time you guys looked at a bed for yourself? Well, we've been talking about it. We're thinking about it. It's always going to be one of those answers, right? Well, you know what? Do this. Once you go pick out one of those beds on that wall over there, just pick out any of them, and I'll buy this one for you for free.
I saw that.
Oh, that's fire.
What salesperson's not going to give $300, $400, $500 extra off of some luxury bed to close the deal? And instead, I just gave them the cost on this, $180 cost. That's all I lost. It's actually more margin for me. It's a crazy deal to them. You're going to give that to me for free. You can do that. Hey man, I've been blessed today. It's been a great day. I've sold a bunch of beds. I'd love to take care of your daughter's bed. If you guys buy one for yourself, it's on me. It happens every single time.
It sounds like you've done this before.
So many times.
And we also have to remember that customer, even if they're not buying their master bedroom bed today, like Steven, I would see him give the best presentations to the people that were coming in for the doorbuster. We're showing the $69 twin size. Oh my God, that's the best $69 mattress on the market. But you have to understand, step away from it again and think, well, can I get a great review from these people? That will help my business. Can I get people to refer other customers to me? That will help my business. Don't just look at it as a single transaction and gross margin dollars on this transaction. Look at it as a total impact to your business.
That's really smart, Brandon. Another review on another product, another unit sold, another touch point in your community. At the end of the day, no, you're not going to get rich selling one. But you know what? If you have 14% of your business, which should be your target, between 12 and 15% of your business should be value price point products that are all under $1,000. Those units should add up. It's a lot of business that you're leaving off the table. If you could grow your business, if you called me today at Bedhead, like, can you grow my business 10%? And I said, absolutely. You'd be like, how? Are you Magic Man? Like with marketing? Yes, you would spend money to grow your business. You don't have to spend money to sell these customers. That is business you're giving up, period.
And make sure to sell the sale and to bring up financing early, according to Brent Batterman.
Thank you, Brent
Mr.
Batterman.
Brent Batterman. You forgot you have to smile too, man. You can't forget
Smile away, man. Actually, you guys probably
to
saw me looking like a crazy person this year. I did it last year. I did it this year. Whenever it's time to come back from a break at Sleep Summit, I just get, hey guys, what are you doing? Hey, I just smile away, man. Smile away. It's like Brent taught me. I mean, we got rave reviews last year from Brent's speech, and he missed out on the group picture. So I brought him up this year. I'm like, get in the group picture for the speakers because we missed you last year. But he that's something he talks about. I mean, and even if you have that $700 customer that's coming in, you could still sell the sale. You can bring up financing and be like, hey, this is, a couple bucks a day, or however much a month. And it's been shown that if somebody's paying cash versus using credit, they spend exponentially more. And he's a pro at that. I love these tips. These are great hot takes.
One of the things I would even add to it that ties back to old school for you, I'd say the number one marketing thing I've ever seen in our industry is the most hated thing by salespeople until they lose it. And my great grandmother used to always tell me, Stephen, you never know what you have in life until you lose it. She was the oldest of 13 children and went through the Great Depression, born in the 1800s. It's like, you don't know what you have in life until you lose it. Well, I remember taking down a sign that everybody hated. And then a month later, them all screaming at me because the sign was taken down and their traffic went way down. Want to guess what that sign was? $2.99 Pillowtop. Associates hated that sign. Everybody keeps coming in wanting to see the $2.99 Pillowtop. Yeah, because there's signs all over the place that say we have a $2.99 Pillowtop. Well, I don't want those customers. I want to put Tempur-Pedic up. Okay, you put up a big sign of a brand. It's not like the customer now walks in the door, the same amount of them saying, show me your Tempur-Pedics. It's a dramatically different amount of humans that can afford a $2.99 Pillowtop versus a Tempur-Pedic. Do you want the traffic or not? Because when we took it down, we lost the traffic. But the reality is, I learned from Jody Putnam, Chief Retail Officer at Mattress Firm today, who started in the industry as a delivery guy, and now he's running retail for the largest mattress retailer in the world. He used to always say this simple fact: if you're going to walk in the door looking for this $2.99 Pillowtop, it doesn't mean you're going to buy it. You just want to see it. Because if I walked into Best Buy today and I wanted to look for a new 80-inch television, and I saw a sign up that says, "Hey, where's your TV that you got here for $2.99? That's a 70-inch or whatever it is." I want to see it, but I'm going to go check and verify why it's $2.99. What is it missing? It doesn't have, the USB ports that I want. It doesn't have, the smart technology. The pixel count's not where I want it. It's some brand I've never heard of. Okay, I understand why it's $2.99. Now take me to see Samsung. Take me to see LG. Take me to the brands I want to see. So when that customer walks in the door to see the $2.99 mattress, doesn't mean that they're going to buy it. Show it to them with pride and passion and tell them no matter what you're buying here, we've got beds from $199 up to as much as you don't want to spend. Check it out. This one's a great bed. Do you want to compare that to some of our other top values in our store? Because I've got beds out here that are $3,000 at some of the best values in the industry. You can show them what you want when you speak in that language. Be proud of it. Just get the truck in the door and make some magic happen.
You just reminded me of a really interesting concept for merchandising that talks about Dr. Keel's appeal to this segment, but also up to more than you ever want to spend on a mattress, right? So if you think about it, we need to serve those people. If you really want to start to create this, umbrella effect, re-merchandise with mattresses that might be way higher than you're currently offering, and you can potentially sell some of those, but then you can also come down and sell more of those pranas, right? And they're like, oh, this prana is a steal compared to the Hastings bed or whatever, right? Like you can really cater by raising your price umbrella.
It's a merchandising strategy, and this is where, like, Steve Anderson on our team does a lot of product development, private brand development, and builds programs like this every single day for retailers. It's like, how do we get the traffic but also step them up and make margin at every price point, which is, there's an S curve that happens in our industry, but can you flatten that S curve and try to turn it into an upward arrow as much as possible? And that's where he thrives in that, doing that every single day for us. And we love what that offering he's brought to Bedhead. But at the end of the day, man, get the traffic, figure out a step up program, put together some accessory packages, have adjustable bases that you can sell, put together a sleep unit, a whole sleep system, a bundle of love that changes people's life for less than $1,000, and be proud of it. Be freaking proud of it. Nectar and DreamCloud are kicking everybody's butt with bundles, and they're advertising value like you've never seen before with a sleep system for less than that $4,000 bed that just lays there. Like, build it, be proud of it at every single price point.
That's exactly what Scott Vaughn talked about during his speech, was the $1 million idea. Nicole called him up. She says, I've got $1 million idea. And what they were doing is they were dealing with a lot of customers who felt like they were being henpecked or nickel and dimed to death. And so they figured out a way to introduce accessories and essentials and mattress takeaway and some of these other items as a good, better, best bundle. And so almost toward the end of the sale, which a lot of people would advise again, they'd say, all right, we got you set up. Now choose your bundle and we'll get you, get your ticket written up. And the bundles had, like, the lower price pillow and lower price sheets and, less protection or whatever, maybe not takeaway in the A bundle, but they started selling the snot out of that and they did it all in pricing, tax, everything, delivery, because people wanted to know exactly what they were paying, because a confused mind doesn't buy, and clarity leads to that sale and that purchase. So I thought that was brilliant. And they figured out a way to translate that over to the online world, which clearly is having a huge impact. Okay, let's go back to, before we get too far away from it, Steve's building programs for a lot of the people you do business with. What are some of the things that he's recommending that may be different or an evolution in terms of merchandising these days?
It's a great question. A lot of the merchandising stuff we're looking for is differentiated stuff. I can't speak to all of it because some of it's still in development right now, Mark, but we've got a whole bunch of stuff that he's bringing to market and kind of leading the charge on for us with a lot of our clients. That's unique selling propositions that justify the price point, and that could be low or high. But there's new technologies that have arrived, and everybody's looking for alternatives. They're just looking for something different on their floor to either complement, national brands, or to even replace them in some scenarios. So we're happy to be representing some of those things and bringing them to market with changing the way. And to be honest, I'll compliment you with some of the people that were there. Very similar in design to what Prana Sleep has got, and an all Talalay kind of product, right? You had M3 on the floor with modular stuff going on. You had King Coil, they're representing, and their stuff they're doing with Smart Life is incredible. Jelly, was represented there. So we saw futuristic stuff going, and we're working on similar things for the marketplace. It's time for our industry to evolve a little bit. It kind of honestly just stopped with hybrid. And hybrid's been such a manipulated word in our industry for way too long. It's all a hybrid. Everything's a hybrid. For SEO value, everybody puts hybrid on everything. But there needs to be some new stuff, and we're working on that. On the value side, though, man, it's like everything goes down over time, right? I joke about I remember the first knit fabric on the Rose Night mattress in 2002 that launched. All you had to do was touch it, and it would sell because everything else was damask. And now, every single bed has got a knit fabric on it, right? All the way down to the $199. So, what are you bringing in? And today, the cooling stuff is coming down. Zoning stuff is coming down. Edge to edge coils with edge support are coming down lower in price. We're seeing flippable mattresses come back that we've worked on launching some things that are there too, which is really special. And, to me, it's not even that, but it's also the brand itself, Mark, that I'd say we're most proud of that we work on, where Steve builds the bed and we build the brand for it. So private branding things and having your own name on something. A retailer could build a private brand right now and build the product direct to consumer and own the private brand. Start your next Nectar and you own it and have exclusive rights to it in your store. And we'll build you a site direct to consumer. You can send it anywhere you want in the country. What's stopping you from doing that? And start drafting off of a unique selling proposition and helping you figure out your target audience. Like we're working on one right now where we're targeting females that go through heat changes at certain points in their life. And we've built a whole brand that's targeting them specifically. So we take on all kinds of projects with major brands, no brands, startup brands, and everything in between. And he leads the product development, and the marketing team develops the brand, and we go launch it together.
So let's pause on something. I want to know more about that brand because I hope that it's not women opause. Okay. Or we got to put a pedic on there somewhere. Okay. So in this product, you mentioned technology, differentiation, justifying the price point. So let's go back to like the boxes that typically get checked whenever you bring a new product to market. There's the new technology. Okay. Sometimes technology doesn't always have the ability for an easy selling story. So let's call it new technology. Let's call it innovation in the selling story or simplification of the selling story. If you could do new technology and simplification of a selling story, now you're really onto something. What are those other categories that are getting filled in right now around technology, selling story? Like you said, a lot of edge to edge, and there's sort of commoditization of a lot of the products that used to have some sort of technology or componentry differentiation. What are those categories you guys are seeing?
I'm going to tell you the biggest one of all of these there's no doubt it's not if, but when it's going to take over at the top is modularity. There's no doubt that personalization of a bed justifies why going into your store, getting up off the couch, not just saying every bed is supportive, every bed is pressure relieving, and every bed is cooling. And the 3 big checks happen with every single bed on Amazon. So you can't just get them in your store to say, I have a more pressure relieving bed, I have more supportive bed. Like every single PDP says that every single bed is all 3 of those. So what's getting people to come into retail is differentiated things that I can customize. It's the ability to make my sleep personalized. Most men stand in a store and go, whatever she wants, I'll sleep on it. And men die before women do because of that exact response. Just joking. There's probably more than that. It's definitely got to
be more reasons than that, but
it's got to be more. But it's like, hey, guy, we can help you sleep good too. Your shoulders hurt. Let's make your side a little bit different in the shoulder, right? Oh, man, your hips are having a problem for you. Let's make your hips different. That kind of stuff is happening. Bedgear's done a good job with M3, getting that out there as an example of that. Sleep Number has been the biggest killer of that. Heads up, Sleep Number. The rest of the industry is coming for you. Split Head did that as well, just splitting the head in the bed, or split top, whatever you want to call it. Don't split someone's head. It's probably a bad name. I shouldn't have used that. My bad. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that are coming to personalization besides a dual adjustable. I remember telling Tempur-Pedic about 20 years ago, you need to make all your mattresses at the same height so that I can compete against Sleep Number. So if I've got a firm and a plush of a bed that are both 10 inches thick, I can put them in a dual adjustable and customize. And they finally did that. So each collection matched in profile height. And you see people doing that are really good salespeople. They know to do that. And they can, hey, you like that one, you like this one, that justifies a split bed now. So those things are going to come in more scale, Mark. You see more zippers opening up beds and showing inside and changing things. Satva's doing that. You see that in Nature-Pedic. There's a few things that are coming, and there's more. There's a lot more that we can't even speak about.
Brandon, react to that.
Yeah, I think that, you had a panel that talked about, large organizations merging and having ripple effects in the economy. Well, if you really want to differentiate yourself, then create an experience that maybe others can't provide, where you can customize mattresses for people. I mean, frankly, it, kind of becomes like, I tell you what, when I was a sales guy, I love showing any demo because we love magic tricks. We feel like you're not going to believe me, but look at it. This is how it works. You don't have to believe me. Here's the magic right here. And when you're customizing a bed, you're essentially, the demo is the bed they're buying. So the magic trick is the bed that they're getting. So I 100% believe in the customization, but really more it's the personalization, whether that's a jelly bed, whether that's, adjusting the coil support on an M3 or any other mattress to differentiate, because anatomically, sleepers are never going to have the exact same comfort preference. There's always someone making a compromise. Usually it's both of them making some sort of compromise. So yeah, I think that is potentially the future. And it also could potentially be the future of e-com. because it can allow people, the number one reason why people abandon carts is because they just want to go feel it. There's this risk aversion to the checkout process of, oh, I don't know if it's the right bed. Well, if you get it home and then you can adjust it, then the risk, you've mitigated some of the risk of it not feeling comfortable for you. So I think that is, Steven's exactly right on that.
I can agree more.
Dialing in everything, Mark. It's like making things work for me. We just helped a company launch a pillow called Tumble Pillow. You should check it out on Amazon. It just launched. It's a really cool pillow. There's a couple of versions of it. And if you're interested in it, call us. But at the end of the day, this pillow is zoned into these little tubes.
Chambers.
And you turn the pillow and you can make it taller or lower, harder or softer just by tweaking it. So having it in the floor to get the customer, oh, that bed's you sink into that bed a little bit more. You need a little thinner profile, and you just turn the pillow. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Like those things like that this product changes with you or as you need, or as a child, it grows with you, evolves with you, whatever you want to say there. Those type things, I think, really are futuristic. They're tied back also for sustainability measures. Everybody's been chasing sustainability, and there's different ways to measure that. And as my good friend Brandon Jameson always says, the most durable product is the most sustainable product. So making a bed that is designed to be updated in modularity and stay fresh and new without having to replace the entire thing is the most sustainable product that we could sell and be better for our environment. The next generation cares about this world. Weird enough, Gen Zs care about the world. So developing products that can be recycled and can be updated without being completely replaced is definitely powerful in that. And Brandon, your point about experience, just an example, a friend of mine just got a Michelin star yesterday for his experience at his restaurant. The food wasn't, it was like the experience, and he's the front of the house, experience guy. He got a Michelin star here in Houston for just specifically for experience. That's pretty powerful, that you could be recognized at that level for just the way you're treated in a place that's known for recommending for food quality. Very interesting.
Can we give him a shout out, like the name of the restaurant?
Yeah, it's here in Houston. The name of it is Credence Houston. Mr. Elliott Wood. He's the general manager there.
Congratulations, Elliott Wood.
Good job,
that's
Elliott.
what it's all about. People are looking for an experience. And let's double red underline this idea of sustainability, because I think we're in a bit of a quagmire as an industry, because one of the panel topics, and shout out to Ryan Meyer with Mattress Lab. By the way, you guys did a great job working with Ryan on his retail refresh. Ryan texted me and he goes, man, people come in and they think having a return is like a mandatory. They think it's their right. It's like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and being able to return a mattress. That's the type of attitude that people have. And so we made that into a panel topic about how have we trained the consumer to be able to return a mattress on a whim. And really this started with the online 100-night sleep trial that's made its way into retail. Now you have lifetime mattresses and all this other language that I feel like is a little bit out there. But ultimately, what we want to be able to do as an industry is just what you guys are describing. And this has been reverberating with me inside as well, is look, we have to be able to send people mattresses, whether it's white glove delivery or roll packed, and have some sort of a measure in place that gives them the best opportunity to keep that mattress for their comfort level. And the moment you kick that thing out, you're filling up the landfills. Right. You're creating all kinds of other emissions because of the fuel that's used. It just has a huge downstream effect, not to mention what's happening in landfills. So I think this is the direction of the future. And whether it's modularity or very logical, easy to implement comfort adjustments, whether that's softer or firmer, that's the future. And then on top of that, just being able to communicate that properly, but also I think we talked about the low end versus the high end. Maybe that doesn't happen as much at the low end, but I think there needs to be a solution for that. And a lot of times toppers get brought up. Toppers can be good and toppers can be bad. If you don't have the right components working together, it can just make your sleep worse. And I've seen it with so many different people. I remember seeing, Peterson Chemical, Bruce Peterson was showing me how should foams actually work together? It seems like a simple question. Well, they should make you feel, pressure relieved, but supported enough. What does that actually look like in practice? And he showed me by pressing down on these foams if one of them bottoms out before the other foam layer engages, you just created a gasket. You created a heat gasket essentially. But whenever you engage that layer at about 50%, the next layer down began to engage, then you had some systems that were working together. And so I think about that in relation to toppers on crappy low-end mattresses. That may still be an issue, but if somebody's going to invest, we definitely need that sustainable approach. That's the future for sure.
Big time. Plus the materials that are being updated. Everybody knows, that latex has got a resurgence. I'm headed down to Guatemala in February to do a behind the scenes video shoot that's going to be educating on latex. Finally want to teach the world what latex is, so you don't have a customer go, what do you mean latex? Like what, there's a rubber glove in there. They don't know what that means, right? And some do if they've done their research, but educating customers on all these type of things is a big deal. And educating them on how to design a bed and pick a bed and customize a bed, how to use a bed. All this education is a massive opportunity that Bedhead is trying to take charge on, to help our industry. But it's all tied back to just big deals with elevating our industry wholeheartedly. And sustainability, as we've said, is a big box that everybody's trying to check. And I do believe the best versions that I have seen for sustainability are using premium natural products like latex, but using them in modular ways so that they can be replaced and not the whole bed thrown away. Removing glue out of beds as much as possible, because there's a lot of beds that are natural materials, but they're glued together with other ones, so they can't separate them. So they're not able to be recycled, right? Like all those things have to be looked at as an industry. And honestly, there's a lot of ignorance on the retail side of all of those factors inside a bed. They see the digibuns we create, but we don't show all those parts in the bed, right? We don't show the scrim. We don't show the glue layers. We don't show all that stuff of how the bed's actually held together.
It's amazing too. Like if you take a buildup of almost any bed and you put a thin piece of butcher paper buried way down in between some layer, you can feel it. Even just a thin piece of butcher paper, you can feel it. And so every layer does matter, and it's not as easy as people think. And, building value in those ingredients and helping people understand, I think that these good ingredients, there are good ingredients and there are crappy ingredients. I mean, the front of house experience with your guy and they got the Michelin star, that is one thing, but behind the scenes, they had to know how to make some really good food too. And they're picking good ingredients. They're growing them organically, probably. And so being able to build value in that, otherwise we do get commoditized. And I think even building value in what you have, like you said, being passionate about it at $1,000 is going to go a lot farther than being like, shucks, go shop on Amazon later.
Yeah, Mark, we actually, Steve and I always play the so what game. This is our USP, so what? Like we always try to challenge it. In our category, everyone seems to say they have the best product, price, and service. And to that, I say, so what? Like that's the prerequisite to getting into the game. What does that experience look like? How are you treating your customer? What's your Michelin star, right? And I think that is really a challenge for people because it's hard to see the ROI in the short run on things like that, where you're really investing a lot into the experience. And it's also one of those deals where it's really hard to measure. It's kind of, nebulous on how do we measure experience other than reviews? Well, you can get reviews, in a number of ways, even if, they're not having 5-star experience, they still give a 5-star review. So I do think that is a force multiplier when you can become a Michelin rated experience in your retail store and get away from the so what game.
How many times do you ask that question? So what? Is it kind of like the why question where you keep asking, well, why? Well, why?
A little
you ask
annoying.
A lot of so what?
We say so what because we're a little bit more direct at Bedhead. Like, oh, I've got a bed that's cooling. So what? Well, it's got 3 layers of cooling. So what? Like, hey, who cares? Tell me more. Tell me why I should get up off of my butt, leave my couch, and leave my phone for shopping for a mattress, drive across town, come into your store, and experience this bed. Because every bed online is cooling. Like you've got to give me more than generic stuff when developing product, developing a process. It's got to get to something that's so unique. It's the blue ocean strategy. You play so what until you are out on your own in the deep blue sea and not in a red bloodbath shoreline of sharks feeding on the same little fish.
It's pretty bloody out there. And we're a big follower industry. Okay, how do you guys answer this question since we're going down the so what path? I hiked Camelback. I was out in Phoenix a couple of days ago and walking down with Matt Smith talking about mattresses or something. People asked us what we did. I think he had a snooze shirt on. And invariably, you guys have this happen all the time. This couple that had just gotten engaged, shout out to Perry and Lindsay. So happy for you guys. They got engaged and they were saying, yeah, we're going to get a new mattress. Like, my brother has a purple. What do you guys think about purple? That's where it started. How do you answer that question for people that are now in the market?
It's a really, really good question, and it's one that I've dealt with my entire career. I get it literally at every dinner that I go to. Like, it's, what are you sleeping on? What do you think of this? It's honestly quite annoying of a question because there is not a proper response. Unless you can push them towards a brand that has a solution that you can customize. There's not a perfect answer. And I tend to tell people in that scenario, there's not one bed that fits all, or I wouldn't have a job, right? That none of us would. This would just be a commodity and order the same thing. But what I suggest to all those people is you need to go feel it and experience it. Just because I sleep on a particular bed doesn't mean that you're going to like it. You can call a friend you trust. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the experience, is the bed right for you? And I can also do a hat tip to certain brands that I trust based on their consistency in manufacturing. I will say my favorite thing about Tempur-Pedic, of all the brands that are on the market, that I believe is the one thing they don't market that they should, is the bed you try in the store is the bed you get at home. And it's the one that is, they check every foam. They ILD test the entire beds. Every 10 beds are putting them through an ILD tester to ensure quality control. Nobody goes through quality control inspections on their beds like Tempur-Pedic. So that's something I can tell my friends that I trust in that particular brand. Not that I just wanted to ignore your purple question. I love purple. I've done a lot of training and launching on purple. We're a good customer at Bedhead. But just as an example of why I would recommend a brand like Tempur-Pedic is for that exact reason right there, that I trust that as an answer, but it's not always the right answer for everybody. So there's got to be a lot of qualifying before you give an answer, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. I was like, hey, every body is different. So going and trying one, especially when, Perry was a bigger guy and Lindsay was petite, you guys may have different comfort preferences. Like, definitely get in a store, lay down, try it out, and see what you like. Trust that, because the feel is the deal. Brandon, how do you answer that question when people are like, what's the best mattress? Or my brother has this mattress. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, you buy a mattress once every 10 years or so. You deserve a little due diligence to try out the most innovative technologies, because you're not going to do it for another 10 years, ostensibly, hopefully not after 90 days. Stephen would say that even if you came in for the doorbuster, he said, everyone deserves to try this out. Everyone should be trying out the new technologies. And Purple is, they can make the claim that, 97% of the customers that purchase Purple are going to be coming back for another Purple. And it's also going to be one of the highest growth categories of gel grid technology at the expense of inner spring in that market. And if I tell that to you in Scottsdale on a beautiful mountain, pretending like I'm working, then you might be like, okay, I got to try it out then. I also got to try out, Tempur. So I got to try out all that the store has to offer so that I can understand the technology differences and figure out what's good for me, because I am the expert at my own comfort.
I'll tell everybody to buy an adjustable base, though. Is that fair?
Everyone gets an adjustable.
Oh, actually, they said that. They go, what do you guys think about adjustables? And I'm like, it's not just a yes, it's a hell yes. I mean, because literally my sleep preference these days is like, I'll go into 0G, probably half an hour, maybe fall asleep. And then I hit that flat button in the middle of the night and I switch from my bed gear 0.0 on my back to my 1.0 on my side, because they need more profile to fill it in. So we talked about pillows. We talked about adjustables. I mean, I think I sold the set. You got to be proud of me. I think I sold it.
Do you have an affiliate code for that? We can link that down below.
I know. I am sleeping on my Prana Sleep mattress, though, and it's a banger. I mean, it's top notch. Like, there is nothing like it.
I think I saw more people falling asleep on that bed in your showroom at Sleep Summit than any other people just chilling in those beds.
Yeah, they had them on the adjustables, man. They look beautiful and they sleep like nothing else. I've actually posted on LinkedIn the other day, because I swear it's 100% true. Ever since we got the Prana Sleep mattress, Jax, my dog, he's up on it all the time. He was never like that with my old mattress. I swear to you. Wow. I mean, I've got pictures of him up there in he has a bathrobe, because after he gets his little shower, he puts on a robe, to keep the water off stuff. He's got pictures, him like gnawing on stuff. It's his go-to spot. Dude, you guys are awesome. Any other people you met at Sleep Summit, or people you want to give a shout out to, or any deals that were made that you noticed?
I already said Jason, but I'll do it again, man. His 4 tires presentation, I had so many people say that it was the most beneficial to their business. We were out talking to people. What did you think? Who's your favorite? And it was said over and over and over again, the Jason Goodman and the and the Four Tires presentation that he put on was very helpful to look at their business. And it kind of spoke to what we spoke to earlier, that, it's not about cherry picking, that the quantity and quality parts of your business need to be balanced out, and you shouldn't ignore quantity. That your traffic and ticket count is at the top of the mark. But when those things go down because you don't have the traffic, then you need to be able to overinflate your quality with your ticket average and margin, which we've been doing for the last 3-4 years from COVID. But the traffic's coming back, so your ticket average and margin may go down a little bit with more traffic. Are you ready for that traffic? Are you going to adjust in the marketplace? And are you going to compete against Amazon? He straight up called all that out with that look, and taught how he used Sleep as an example at City Mattress, and they've done so well with that. I was very proud for him to not only teach it, but show how they did it with just one brand. It's powerful.
You, any top takeaways?
I have three. Yeah, I have three. So first off, I'm going to compliment the roundtable that you had. I thought that was really interesting. It was like must see watching. Katie did an amazing job. Always love talking to Todd. Todd is a wealth of insights and information and loves to dissent and give the people what they want. And then, of course, Ryan, who's a good friend of ours and doing incredible things with his baby business, and it's booming. So we're really, really proud of that and seeing what y'all did there. Speaking of Todd Youngblood, who's already had incredible success with his topper that he made, right? The chili pad. Yeah, so he's got a really, really innovative product with the jelly bed. I really enjoyed getting to be more hands-on with that because Stephen and I always say this industry, for all intents and purposes, is a lot of like the Mexican food industry, where it's a lot of the same 11 ingredients plated and performed and created a different way. And it's, it's a lot of the same stuff with a different marketing story, but he actually has a different technology that I think could be really, really interesting for our category. And then last but not least, I always love when I get to hang out with John Anderson. We actually had some introductions with him. I really believe that their technology, their platform, the B2B marketplace, and what they can do to kind of connect dots and make love connections and enable business on the supply chain side and take away all the headaches for retailers and connect manufacturers. I think what they're doing is potentially disruptive. And we love being able to hang out with him for a little bit.
That's a great rundown. I wanted to reinvent the panel this year. So this was our first swing at reinventing the panel, which can be super boring. So I called it the Pearl Snap panel, easily unbuttoning, right? Pearl Snap, easily unbuttoning the burning questions in the bedding business. And so we did questions then we did like some yes or no stuff. And I wanted to kind of create some showdown moments since we had our wanted theme. And then obviously Katie took over the hot seat and then turned the questions around on us as panelists. So that was a lot of fun.
She may or may not have been better than you, Mark.
She was absolutely better than you. She was awesome.
I want to thank you, Mark, because, this industry needs good experiences like this. We all need a place to come together. Bedhead was able to get some deals done at Sleep Summit, to be quite frank, able to get some stuff signed, some handshakes done, and move forward with our business. And I want to thank you for putting together a place where we can all come together and meet. Sometimes face-to-face meetings are a lot better than this digital world that we've all built our business out of these days. And there's a few industries in our industry, there's a few events in our industry that just don't do it as good as you do, Mark. They just don't. And Bentonville is a place to make deals happen. And I really appreciate Sleep Summit. If you want to sit there and learn, or if you just want to be around great people and mingle and get to know people. We had clients that flew out just to be introduced to the industry, that met us there and moved forward. So it was really cool to see that come together. And just thank you. Thank you for putting on a place where all of our companies can grow.
Well, thanks for those kind words, guys. Hey man, second year was hard. It was really if you would have seen me behind the scenes, I was immediately, as soon as year number 2 was finished up, I'm like, I want to make good. I want to redo. I saw so many areas for improvement. And so thanks for your guys' support, man. You guys are 3 for 3. And I'm glad you got some deals done. I'm always interested in the deal flow because we're so intentional about trying to make sure that we open the conversation circle and introduce new people, hugs and high fives. We're trying to create a space where you're reminded of your best self. And that's opening yourself up, being vulnerable and making those connections. And, hey, when you know people and you like them and you trust them and you can do business together and you can experience this life together, that's a pretty good combo. And that's what we've been after. And shout out to Tara Kinsley, who's the world's greatest community builder in my opinion. She's
You did a great job,
the engine
man.
that drives this thing.
All of it. Plus, man, you guys we got mountain biking and pickleball and all kinds of activities to do. We can go on a tour of Walmart. I mean, Sleep Summit's now the second biggest thing in town next to Walmart. So like I'm impressed with all the things, and the restaurants and the bars are incredible.
Hey man, speaking of the second biggest thing, there's the first biggest thing, but then there's the thing that's above all those things. And
You talking about the Lord? What are you talking about?
just below the Lord, just below the Lord.
Just below.
It's the Anderson Ferguson wedding. When is it going to happen? I want to talk about you and Megan being engaged.
Yeah, it's happening, man. I'm actually flying out to Barcelona on Friday. We're going to go take our engagement pictures, do all that there. But the wedding is in June 27th. And yeah, man, I tried to convince her to let me get some sponsors. I felt like I could pull a Mark Kinsley and get it all paid for. She said no. I'm trying to get some stuff, so we'll see. We'll see if she lets me. But yeah, it's gonna be a big event.
I've watched Steven sell a lot of beds. This might have been his biggest sale that he's ever done. How he convinced Megan to marry him. That's his number one sale.
I'm still wondering what's wrong with her.
Well, you guys are both lucky, man. It's going to be the mattress industry wedding of the century.
Yeah, buddy. We're excited. It's Mattress Meg, marrying Bedhead Ferg. I think we're going to put it on the tuxedo and the dress on the back, like it's a big deal.
She better watch herself, or you're going to have some logos on that train.
I'm trying to, man.
Did you hear the story about how he proposed is the question?
Tell us.
Ferg, go ahead.
You do it. You
okay.
Indoors.
He had a flash mob outside the zoo. She thought she was going to the zoo with the family, and a flash mob starts dancing and singing right in front of her. And that was how he did. He just can't do it normal. He's not just going to get down on a knee. He prepared this for months. Yeah. Maybe one day he puts the video together and shows people.
Well, you got to video the whole thing. We want to see it, man. We want to see it.
The flash mob may take place again at the wedding. It was full of all of her family and friends. There was 30 plus people out that were all friends and family that learned the dance, and she was shocked and awed, screaming, crying, jumping up and down like only Mattress Megan Anderson would do. So yeah, it was a beautiful day.
I saw that part because you guys FaceTime me and Tara, and oddly enough, we were sitting at my next door neighbor owns a bar called Loveless, and it's like a love Cupid theme and it's hearts and everything and disco heart, bar heart ball up top, and you guys FaceTime us, and Megan is going bananas, like in the best possible way.
That was a couple of cases of mimosas later when we finally. Thanks for answering. We were excited to tell you guys.
And I don't think y'all ended up going to the zoo. So was she upset about that? No.
Nephew to the zoo from her twin brother. It's his first kid. He's so excited. She was planning it, and then it was a surprise. She's like, "But we're not going to the zoo." I'm like, "No, we're not. We're going to celebrate."
You're like, our life is going to be wild enough with this wild man right here. We're good. We don't need the zoo. Well, man, congratulations to you and Megan.
Thanks,
I'm so happy for you guys. It's
Thank
like those are fam moments that like fill our hearts. So
big time.
Well, hey guys, thanks for chopping it up. Like this has been lots of great nuggets, lots of insights. Thanks again for coming to Sleep Summit. If anybody is interested in connecting with Bedhead, where can they go to?
Bedheadmarketing.com, or just email Stephen, Brent, or Brandon at bedheadmarketing.com, or you can call me 281-687-0721. I love text messages.
Ooh, bold move, Cotton.
He's dropping it on the air. And of course, you guys are on LinkedIn and Facebook and all that stuff. So thanks for what you guys are doing to like elevate the industry and like drag us into the future. And I can't wait to hear about your trip to see, I'm guessing it's Christian. That's going to be fun. More to come. All right, Bedheads. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, or even if you found something insightful, be sure to subscribe, send it to a friend. We've got all of our stuff that goes out on social every week. So we got I call them hot takes, but go to our LinkedIn page, make sure to follow us. Go follow the Bedhead guys as well on LinkedIn and all the socials. And we'll see you back here every Monday on the FAM podcast. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Mark.